contract out with the Archdiocese at all?
No, I don't do any work with them.
Had you ever considered it?
Hello, I'd just like to thank you all for tuning in today to QED Live. We will be here every Thursday from 5:30 to 6:30, teaching, learning, laboring, and leading. We also will be featuring different businesses in the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., and Virginia that are doing exceptional work. Also, we'll be inviting in community leaders, and we have a community leader as well as a business owner. It's like we have 2-for-1 deal here with the mayor. And we also will be sharing some educational strategies and solutions to be able to help transform the future. And I'm going to turn it over to LaShawn Maldon.
Hi, thank you for joining us. I'm LaShawn Maldon. We had our debut show last week, and so happy that you could join us again this week. As Latasha said, we'll be here every Thursday, 5:30 to 6:30. But I think I'm tasked with giving you a bit of an overview of our company, QED Inc. We are a business and education consulting firm, and we do advocacy and lobbying work, and very much interested in working with startup companies ready to move to the next level, working with families to offer solutions and strategies for navigating a successful education for their children, and certainly working to campaign and lobby for important issues in the community. So you don't have to be a large organization to call on our services. You could be small community group, but we want to advocate for you if it's an issue that certainly is worth fighting for. We want to be able to stand with you. So I'm going to move on so we don't delay. Without delay, we want to introduce our guest today, who happens to be the mayor of Capitol Heights, Mr. Shawn Maldon. And as Latasha said, he's also a local business owner and quite an impressive resume. So I'm going to let him tell you all a little bit about himself. Who is Shawn Maldon?
Well, Shawn Maldon is,
Yes.
you know what, to tell that story, to tell who I am, right? I'm reminded of an experience that I had at Howard University. I attended Howard University, and I remember getting the opportunity to sit and speak with, to spend some time with Maya Angelou. And that was kind of a highlight of my experience, actually, at Howard, because I've always, looked up to, Maya Angelou. So I had the opportunity to be with her, and I remember I was tasked with signing some books. She was signing the books. I was tasked with opening the books to the right page and passing it to her. And so I was passing the books. And then, got to a point where she said, she's done. So she looked at me, she said, no more books. But I kept passing the books. And finally, and I don't know if you all have had the opportunity to actually see her in person, she was a large woman. So she, she said, enough! I said, and she turned and looked at me. She said, I said no more books. Everybody ought to be used, but nobody ought to be misused, because if you can't be used, you're useless. And that stuck with me, right? And I think that's who I consider myself to be. Maybe that's a weird way to explain it, but I consider myself to be someone that is useful, someone that makes an impact around where I am, where I find myself, in my community. That's before I had a company. That's while I had a company. That was before I was in office, and that continues while I'm in a public office. So I think that's the best way I can describe myself, as being someone that desires to be, and that is, intends to be of benefit, of use to others.
Right. Awesome. That's wonderful. Something certainly to remember. A memorable moment and a huge takeaway in that moment. That's terrific. So there are three businesses, in fact, yes, that you oversee, that are part of a brand,
right,
as you call it, the Maldon Brand.
Yep. So,
and you want to talk a little bit about
just after Howard, I started, well, actually, during Howard is when I started my first company. I started my first company. It was a cleaning service, and it was started to kind of help me get through Howard, to cover some of those costs. I remember I walked down to the Subway that's right on the same street as Howard. I walked in and I said, I can help you get the grout back white in between your towels. I talked to the owner. And so they gave me opportunity. The store was closed. I came in and I started, scrubbing to get the grout back white, only to find out the grout was never white. There are different color grouts. So that didn't go well. But, it did start my cleaning service, and it never really stopped. So all throughout my college experience, I kind of had that business on the side. And it's always been something that I can kind of downsize, upsize, downscale, upscale,
sure.
Just depending on what I need. So that's the first company. And then the second company came, I grew up with deaf people. I have godparents that are deaf, so they taught me the language. So I started my interpreting company. Every company had my name in it, Maldon. So, and then finally I started doing a little management, helping other businesses and things like that. So the last company is the management company. And so the brand is the Maldon Brand. And so, so three arms of that brand.
So how many years would you say you've been in business?
Since 2005.
Okay.
Yeah, since 2005.
Okay, so good. 14 years?
Yeah. And it's been, like I said, I'm able to go up or down. I'm able to scale it up. I'm able to, do as I want. So that's the good thing about being in business for yourself, is that you're able to, scale it up or scale it down, just depending on, what's going on.
We have a segment we were going to run monthly on millennials. You wouldn't consider yourself to be a millennial, would you?
You said I wouldn't or would?
Would you?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, according to what, the numbers are, I'm 33, so I'm
okay,
a
so you fit in that range.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Did you find, whether in college or shortly after, that many of your contemporaries are also starting businesses? Like were you rare, I guess is the question.
That's a good question, and one I haven't really thought of. Maybe not. Maybe not like in the grand scheme of things.
Okay.
Like across the United States of America.
Or just in the area, the Washington area,
Yeah, in this area, maybe, but I don't think, there are lots of
millennials are known, and
young,
I'll be transparent. I don't consider myself to be a millennial, okay? But millennials are known to be sort of hallmarks, right, of each generation, and millennials are known to be a bit, to possess a lot of ingenuity, so that entrepreneurial spirit seems to me to pour out of that of your generation.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. And to be honest with you, I enjoy employing, folks that may fit in that nice. Age group. Some people find that, millennials are not steady, not consistent. They're here today, gone tomorrow. An older generation, our parents' generation, they had a job and they might have kept that job for, I don't know, 30 years. 30 years.
Plus,
and today, if you look at me wrong, I may leave and go on to the next thing. But but
you see a positive in that.
Right. The positive is respecting working with younger employees is that the creativity is there.
Yeah.
And like you said, ingenuity as well as flexibility, because they're not necessarily stuck in their ways, if you will.
Okay.
That's I'm able to work with some of my younger employees, but you need some wisdom and some age too, because that stability is really good. So I do have a nice mix.
Very good.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So if you can tell us about the Shawn Maldon Brand.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit about that. I met you being a manager of Belinda Queen. You was managing her campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I also witnessed you running for office, being the first youngest mayor. And I think a lot of the community they wasn't ready to see this young guy get in there and become the mayor, but because of your strategies and your techniques and Also, keeping your ear to the ground. I'm saying the people heard and they voted for you.
Right.
You know, so you won and then your candidate won. So definitely like the Bay to hear about that.
So I told you I'm not good with these.
No, you're great.
These interviews. No, but so
What convinced people to vote for you? Maybe
yeah.
that's the.
Well, I think well, you asked about the Maldon brand. So the Maldon brand, I try to represent quality in every way. That's somewhat of our tagline, quality at its best. So regardless of what I'm doing, I try to execute in a way that, would make my folks proud. Originally from Alabama, when my folks sent me way up to the big city, and they're still back home in Alabama, they were wanting me to, do the best that I could, and so I try to remember that always in whatever I find myself doing. And so I don't know, there's that biblical principle that whatever you do as if you're doing it unto the Lord. And so that's the Maldon brand. That's what it's all about. Just really trying to do the best that we can. We don't always make the mark. We're not the best in the world. We're not perfect, but we're getting there. In terms of working with and for my constituents, I did that before. Like I said, I did that before I even, started even thinking about getting into office.
Right.
I was working with people and for people. And in fact, how I became to decide to run for office is because I had a lot of my constituents, a lot of people at that time, neighbors, who were saying, you know what, you should run for mayor, because you can make a difference. Just based off of some of the things that I was doing before, which are some of those same things that I continue to do now that I'm in. So we do all kind of events and all kind of programming and just different things to help kind of offer some not necessarily new or different, because maybe others are doing it in other places, but to just bring it home.
Right. No, that's great.
Well, you mentioned events, and we have a clip from an event that you put on not very long ago. Do you want to cue that up? Tell the audience a little bit about that event.
Okay, you're talking about the paint and pamper night. So yes. we recently had our annual paint and pamper night. It was at the Mercy Grace Center in Prince George's County, in Capitol. Well, it's in Landover, but it's right there on the edge and close to Capitol Heights. And we did that as a company. It's just a free event for any lady, whoever. We do this every year. Just an opportunity to allow them to get some rest and relaxation, and to show our support. As a business owner, I have a smorgasbord of women that work for me, and particularly in my interpreting business. You find more times than not, many interpreters are women. So we have a lot of interpreters that work for me that are women, and I have a lot of my staff that my admin staff, they're women, and of course I came out of a woman, and so I really wanted to be able to, on a continual basis, show support, show love to women. So that's why I host our annual paint and pamper night, and they come in and they get a nice massage and they get to paint. It's really a nice
Let's
event.
let the audience see it.
Okay.
Right. Would you roll the clip, please? Awesome.
So we are here at the Ladies Night Paint and Pamper. I am just really excited. The ladies are all here looking lovely, and they are having a fabulous, fun time.
Follow that pattern and live a life that's full of truth. You never go wrong.
The Maldon Brand wanted to host this to really appreciate all of the women. So we got professional masseuses here who are giving phenomenal massages. Over there, we have some vendors who are vending African clothing and attire, and we have the jewelry that they're selling. And then over there, folks are just having a really good time painting. And then over there, people are just getting plenty to eat. We had the event catered by none other than Chef Steve. So we are really having a great time tonight, honoring all of our ladies.
I'm Pops Routes, an independent consultant. Everything is $5, milk and leg free. Come on and join.
Turn this off.
Y'all can't see it. I got this. Yeah. But definitely, thank you, for coming on and that event. You all had the opportunity to be able to see the substance of this young man, and then we just discovered that event was a free event.
Keep going.
Yep. So.
Yeah, it was a free event, and that's the thing. I try to do things for the community, and again, that was something that had started a long time ago, so it didn't just happen just when I get in office. So it's not about a vote. Mm-hmm. It's strictly about giving back to the community that I live in, because people don't have the opportunity to do that in the area where I live.
Right.
You have to go to DC. You have to go maybe to Montgomery County. I love the idea that we can bring something to the community that's of quality, that is fun, that gives folks the opportunity to get out. So I love doing that type of stuff, and it's completely paid for by my company. It's
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
You have another event coming up for the men.
Yep,
For the men,
we have a
yes.
men's event. It's a grill off.
A grill off.
We have a men's day grill off, and a competition. We do that annually as well. And last year it was really nice, and we had a lot of participation. And this year it is July the 7th, so it's still time for folks to come out. Let me double check that day. I think it's July the 7th. It may be July the 6th, whatever that Saturday is. Yes, July the 7th.
Okay.
And it's actually it's right up by the town hall in Capitol Heights.
Is there an RSVP for that event?
Yeah, we are asking folks to send in just so we can keep a count and know who, especially if you want to participate in the actual competition part, because we got cash prizes and so all of that. So yeah, definitely you can. If anybody's interested in being a part of that, just shoot me an email at events@ShawnMaldon.com. That's EVENTS at Shawn SHAWN Maldon MALDON.com.
All right, sounds good. Also, today, you'll be leaving here going to a group called the Weekly Referral Chain that was inspired to bring entrepreneurs together. But I'm not gonna steal your thunder.
No, go ahead. No, it's fine. The Weekly Referral Chain, I got to put on my mayor hat. The Weekly Referral Chain is a part of the Planning and Economic Development Committee that I chair in the town of Capitol Heights. And as such, I said I wanted to be able to support local businesses, and local in the sense that, you can come from anywhere, DC, Maryland, or Virginia. We have people represented from everywhere, but we come together every single Thursday. We want folks to get there by 6:30, so you're right, I gotta run, because we start our open networking part, and then right. We start, and then we go into our more structured networking part of the program, where we allow everybody the opportunity to tell us about their business, tell us about who they are, and the main thing is to make an ask. Every week we're asking folks to make an ask, because the whole point of it is to receive and to give business referrals. It's called the Weekly Referral Chain.
Okay, what I like about it, people actually are doing business with each other. I'm a part of the group too, you all, but I like that people are actually doing
the
business.
Membership chair,
yeah. So we have some ask out here for the community that we still need a landscaper and a few other people to come and be a part of this group. But what I like is that you actually have shown people how to network with each other. Far as with the group, we have to meet with each other outside of the group to get to learn about each other's business, and also we have community projects that we have to do, which allow us to be engaged with the town of Capitol Heights. So it's not just about coming in, us doing business, but also teaching us how to give back
Absolutely.
to the community, because that's the substance of who you are.
That's right. That's right. It's
Definitely a giver.
Yeah, it's important. So, that's our community service project. Every member who decides to be a part of the weekly referral chain, they need to do one community service project that benefits the town of Capitol Heights. Again, we're using the space. It's at the town hall in Capitol Heights. It is a component part of the Planning and Economic Development Committee at the town of Capitol Heights. So we thought, hey, let's make everybody, do at least one project. Can I talk about my project?
Yeah, talk about it.
So I'm going first, right? And I'm doing my first project, and my first project is called the Buy Local campaign.
Oh yeah.
The Buy Local campaign is where, it's a week-long event starting July the 7th. And we are asking everybody inside Capitol Heights and outside Capitol Heights, if you want to purchase from nowhere but Capitol Heights.
Right.
And so we're doing the Buy Local campaign, and I've already made a request for all of our, for our elected officials on the county level and state level. We want them to come down to support us in this effort. Sometimes Capitol Heights can feel left out. And so this is an opportunity for our elected officials to be a part of what we're trying to do in Capitol Heights as we try to help stimulate our local and small businesses in Capitol Heights.
Oh, that's great.
So it kicks off July 7th.
Yeah, it starts July 7th and it goes through that week. So it's over on the 13th. And there are different scheduled events each day.
And where will people go to find the schedule of those events?
Everybody can go to Capitol Heights Buy Local campaign. It's on Facebook. So Capitol Heights Buy Local campaign. We have a active Facebook page, and certainly if anyone is interested, they can reach out to me. Hopefully we'll be able to include a link with my email address.
Yes.
But that email is mayor@capitolheightsmd.com. I'm happy to give everybody information. But it starts July the 7th with the kickoff. That's a Sunday. It's at 3. And then there's, July 8th, and then that's the panel discussion talking about why is it important to do a Buy Local campaign like this. And then we go into, just different activities each day of the week. But I'm happy to share that information with folks that are interested.
Terrific. Well, I love your intentionality, Mr. Mayor. And certainly your focus on service to the community. And highlighting, those who otherwise are somewhat neglected or marginalized. I think that's really important piece of what you're doing. So I want to make sure our viewers know that we're going to post all of the links on our QED website, so QEDinc.us. So you can either go to our website or go to the websites and Facebook page that Mayor Maldon just mentioned. But you can also find that information centrally on our website, and along with today's recording of today's show. Anything else? Any final thoughts?
I think it's it. I just
we know he has to get going.
Just wanted to say thank you for taking the time, and definitely, I look forward to people doing business with the town of Capitol Heights. It is the gateway to Washington D.C. as well as Prince George's County, and I definitely thank you for all your contributions. And your heart definitely want to have something different there. Yeah.
I appreciate you, and thank you guys for inviting me on to come and sit and chat with you a little bit. I appreciate it. I'm proud of the work that you guys are doing as well.
Thank you very
obviously, you, Latasha, and all the things you're doing in the community. So thank you so much. I've known you for quite some time. It has been a pleasure getting to know you as well. So thank you so much.
More time.
Yes.
To know each other even more. Yeah. So and maybe come on again and talk a little bit more about these things that you're doing.
And definitely have some of the weekly referral chain people come through too.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we have some great things in our group.
Okay.
That's right.
Absolutely.
A lot to showcase in Capitol Heights.
Yep.
All right.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to go to commercial, and we'll be back in just a few seconds.
Hello,
Welcome back.
welcome back. We had just got finished with Mayor Shawn Maldon. Now we have Mr. James here. And
Right.
some of you all are probably already familiar with Mr. James, but I would like for Mr. James to be able to tell his story. He is a product of Prince George's County. So if you can jump right in and tell us who is James.
So my name is James Collier. I am the owner and chief visionary officer of 3 for Me Inc., which is an anti-bullying movement that does 3 things to end bullying. 1, it sells comic books. 2, it sells these comic books, which is called Chunk Media Galaxy. It sells these t-shirts such as this one, and also it helps kids sign this anti-bullying pledge.
Okay. All right, great. Tell us your story on why you started 3 for Me Inc. Anti-bullying movement. Why did you start that?
Well, I started it because at first I was being bullied, and I'm like, I need to stop this. So I'm on my way to stopping bullying because I was being bullied at once, and I'm like, I need to stop it. It's bad.
Okay.
So do you see your work making a difference?
Right.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good. Is it making a difference in your school, or do you see it making a difference in other schools as well?
It made a difference in other schools, but not my schools, because the pledge isn't really out in my school, but it's in other schools.
Okay, we got to get that
But
pledge
you're
out in the
working to
school.
get it out.
Yes.
Right.
One of your
I am
goals
working.
is to get the pledge into the hands of how many young people?
20,000 so far.
Yeah. And you've managed to get quite a good number of signatures and folks to
Right.
sign up for the pledge, correct? What's your total as of today?
Right now, it's 4,184.
4,184 students have signed your pledge.
Bullying pledge.
That is awesome. That is terrific. And are they mostly in Prince George's County? Are they throughout Maryland and in Washington, D.C.? What's your reach at this point?
Well, my reach is all around the East Coast,
Okay.
like New Jersey,
That's terrific.
Pittsburgh, and Maryland and D.C.
Yeah.
and Thailand.
And Thailand, so you're international.
Right.
And how are you reaching these people? How does one get access to the pledge or find out about the pledge even?
Well, they can listen to radio shows that I'm on,
Okay.
and also
Shows like this one?
shows like
Yeah.
this one, and also they can another way they can go onto my company on my website, which is www.iii4meinc.com.
And that's actually on screen now for the viewers, so they will have that address so they can reach out to you.
Yeah, so, in reference to the schools, so the goal is to be able to get it into the schools, church groups, anybody that actually have youth, correct?
Right.
Yeah, so I ask if you're a teacher, if you work with youth in your church group, if you're a youth pastor, definitely, we need you all to be able to reach out, to James, allow him to be able to come to speak, to the body of the youth that you have there, because he definitely have a message. What I love about what James has done, because it happened to him, he didn't want it to happen to someone else. So we need to be able to help him reach the goal of the 20,000 people. So we need you all to get involved. James, you gave him your website.
Right.
Far as the schools, Board of Education members, Edward Burrows, Belinda Queen, just to name a few of you all, but we need you all to get on board with this campaign. This young man has been working, him and his mother, to be able to get the word out. So they not just complaining about it, but they taking actions to be able to solve a problem in our community, because I'm sure James is not the only one, right?
Right.
So James and Latasha mentioned that your mom is involved with you. Who are the members of your team?
So it's my mom, basically all my family,
Yeah.
everyone on my mother's side, but
And who's your mom? Do you want to
so my mom is
share with the viewers who your mother is?
Tamisha Thomas, who has her own company, which is called Taylor Solutions.
I see. Okay. And maybe she's been your inspiration too, perhaps, huh? Or part of it, yeah?
Right.
Yes, nice to have your mom standing with you. That's awesome. That's awesome. And you said other members of your family are also on your team.
Right.
Yeah? Okay. And do you have any other young people working with you? Your classmates or other people you've met? Or?
I have, yes, got quite a few.
Quite a few. Okay. And so how do you all get together? And what are your activities like? Do you engage them around your books, or how do you engage the young people to work with you on your mission?
So I usually go to events because my last event was, I think, was in April.
Okay.
So, my last event was this month.
Okay.
It was this past weekend. It was I think it was the Capitol Heights fair.
Okay. So you were there with our last guest, Mr. Mayor Maldon, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, awesome. And so, what do you think needs to happen next in order to reach this goal?
In order to reach this goal, I really need to be at more events so I can have a stronger feeling that I can do this and end bullying.
Yeah. Terrific. Yeah. Well, I admire your work. And I admire the fact that you're taking this on. You didn't say, I've got to stop this from happening to me. You said, I'm going to end it, period. It's got to go away, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm a former teacher. Once a teacher, always a teacher. So what would you say to your message has been to young people, but what would you say to teachers and administrators? I've been a teacher, I've been an administrator, so if I were sitting with you as I am now, what would you say to me, your principal or your classroom teacher, about what they can do to help end bullying?
So, to me, I would say, how about you stop letting the kids get away with it and actually get on them about it?
Okay.
So,
Very good.
So you see people turning their heads and not
the turning
really
their head is
acknowledging
like,
that it's being done.
it's okay, you don't have to worry about it. And I'm like, and when I see that, I'm like, for example, one of the bully stories that I've heard of, this kid has been, I think, during the time of 3 months or a month, there's this kid who got 3 concussions in a month or 3 months. In a month to 3 months.
So it's serious.
It's serious. And then they're just saying, no, we're just going to move the boy to the, they're just worrying about the boy, not the bully. They should be worrying about the bully more than the boy. But the hospital can worry about the boy.
So we don't want people to be hurt, but you're also concerned about the person who's hurting others.
Right.
Because you feel like they need help too.
Hurt people.
Yes, hurt people. That's terrific. That's exactly right. So your mission is to completely end bullying by bringing more awareness to this issue, making sure that the adults and the children know that this is not good, that the folks who are being hurt need attention, and the folks who are doing the hurt need attention. Yes?
Right.
Okay. And your events are bringing people together to talk about ways of preventing some of that from happening, yes?
Yes.
Very good. Very proud of your work.
Yes,
James Collier.
Yeah, so you have a speaking event, I believe there's coming up in September. Somewhere around September, right? September 29th?
September 29th is my second annual anti-bullying pledge. The first one was on September 30th, but I don't know what happened to September 30th, but this year it's September 29th. So I really hope that it's going to be at Sci Zone, but we need donations, at least.
How much money do you need?
$10,000.
$10,000, yeah.
Last one was $500.
Okay. So that means that you all could, on your website, they can make donations.
Right.
For the cause. He needs $10,000.
On my website, and my website just got updated.
All right, so give them the website again, because we want to make sure that they know that website.
the number 4, MEINC.com. And it's all lowercase.
All right, so that means that there's a lot of people on Facebook. I believe I have 5,000 friends. So even if my 5,000 friends, gave $2, James can reach his goal of the $10,000 so that he can, actually, touch the hearts of the children that are hurting people, as well as the ones who are hurt that need to be touched. So definitely, hopefully that you all have a heart and an ear to be able to help this young man reach his goal. Because sometimes, us as adults, we can try to, to speak to them, but sometimes peer pressure is a good thing. And this is positive peer pressure.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Right, sometimes I'm saying, but you putting the pressure on.
Right.
And, we want to be able to support you in your efforts. Your mom is here.
Why don't we do this? Let's go to a quick commercial, and then maybe we can have James. Would you like your mom to come on and join us?
Yeah.
Yes,
she would be willing to.
No chance.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. Let's go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back, and we'll have James's mom on, and we'll introduce her as well. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Welcome back. We now have James's mom with us, and you want to introduce yourself?
I am Tamisha Thomas, the owner of T. LaRue Solutions, as he stated, and momager at 3 For Me Inc.
Excellent.
Right.
Momager. I
Yeah.
like that.
Manager
I
plus
like
mom.
that. Well, I think we have a call, perhaps a question for James or Tamisha.
Hello.
Caller, you're on the air?
Hello. It's your girl Tasha. How are you guys doing?
Hey, Latasha, how you doing?
I'm all right. Hey, my James, how are you?
I'm good.
Look, I'm so proud of you since you've been being so consistent, and I watch you all the time on your Instagram, and I talk with your mom, and I know what's going on. I want you to know that earlier today, I actually made a $20 donation to you.
Thank you for donating.
This is what your girl Tasha has for you, James. If
Thank you.
20 people take the challenge and match me and do $20 too, and put in the comments when they send the comments for the link that they're doing it because they're matching your girl Tasha. If 20 people do that, then your girl Tasha, I'll take my $20 up to $100 for you, okay?
All right.
Wow.
All right, did you all hear that?
Did you all hear that?
Our girl Tosh, which is James' girl Tosh, said
That's
that
right.
right now she put in the comments that she pledged $20, but she said if how many people? 10 people also give.
I need 20 people.
You need 20 people. She need 20 people.
Let's do it.
She need 20 people.
I'll make my 20 to 100.
She'll make her 20 to 100.
So let's
right.
help this young man because he is awesome.
I know that's right.
So we have to check
And
the
his
website.
We have to check the website.
Young people.
All right, Tosh. No, that's good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, baby.
That's sweet.
So Tasha mentioned your Instagram page, so you may want to mention that as well to the viewers.
Yes.
So my Instagram and Facebook is III4ME, and that's it.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention, since you mentioned the Facebook and Instagram, it is purposed to be a resource to parents and kids. So the green pictures are bully-proof tips of the day. Blue is all about statistics. And red are quotes from James. So it might be anything from his favorite quote is, think of a bully-free world and what? What do you always say? Think of a bully-free world and what?
And
Make it happen.
I never say that.
Well, I really appreciate
Well,
that.
anyway, those are the quotes that he gives me when we're riding in the car in the morning. Maybe he
And
just
you
doesn't
captured
remember.
them. That's
And I
perfect. That's
capture.
awesome. That's better than a scrapbook.
Yes.
That's terrific.
Also on his website, we have a Q&A page
Okay.
under the resources tab where parents can go on there and learn.
And the social
about
media
it.
sites are linked to the website.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
All right.
But it's 3 for me. I, the number 4, ME.
And anything that we often ask our guests, or we're starting to, what their superpower is. What would you say your son's superpower is?
My son's superpower is his compassion for others.
Wow.
I really, really do believe that as he's grown older, I just see that he's always caring about how the next person feels. And and that's evident in the fact that I'm always asking him, James, are you sure you want to continue with 3 for me? And he's like, yes.
Yeah. That's terrific.
Yeah.
Well, James, with compassion, where do you see that going in terms of a career? You're in what grade now?
I am in 3rd grade.
Going to
and
4th?
Going to 4th.
Okay, rising 4th grader.
Yeah.
And so have you considered what your career might be down the road?
An astronaut.
You want to be an
An
astronaut?
astronaut, yes.
Well, that's
Yes.
caring for the world and the universe, right? So caring in a big
My
way.
that's
hero
a
for
lot.
that is Neil Armstrong.
Very good. That's
good.
terrific.
Yes, it
That's
is.
wonderful.
Actually, it's out of the Apollo 11
Mm-hmm.
pilots.
He's been doing extensive research about being an astronaut.
That's
And I'm
terrific.
still reading a book on astronauts. So,
Excellent.
and astronaut is a biography.
Very good. And where do you think you get your compassion from?
Support from my company.
But where did you learn to be compassionate and care for other people?
Is your mom? Does your mom have anything to do with that?
My mom.
Yeah, I could see that. I could imagine that that's where it comes from. Well, that's terrific. And again, we're very proud of your work, and I'm sure you are
Thank
as
you.
well of your
Very
son.
proud.
Just his ability to tune in, and pay attention to the needs of others. And you're right, that compassion, especially for someone his age, is a super strength.
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing him with us and with our viewers.
Yes, thank you for having him. We appreciate it very
I
much.
had one more, thing that I wanted to say, to a mother, definitely, I'm glad, I'm thankful that you had a listening ear, and also that you was willing to back your son, because to do something like this, it costs money. So instead of buying PlayStation and buying all of the different things, you made an investment in him to be able to help someone else. So that speaks volume about yourself.
Thank you. Absolutely. Actually, I cut out the things that I like to do, like going to get my nails done and my massage envy things, but I have cut those out because I like to also still allow James to be a child. Sure. So we still allow him to participate in his extracurricular activities, video games, YouTube. Of course, all the kids are on there. Mm-hmm. So
and like fun stuff at
yes.
the events, and check it out. And sometimes she lets me buy some things.
yes. So he does get his own time during the events.
Well, anything
as well.
worth having takes sacrifice.
That's what we're learning.
That's what you're showing. You're modeling that for him.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely.
So hopefully, some of the other parents out there, can back their children in different ventures that they may have. But definitely want to remind you all that James his goal is to be to reach 20,000 signatures. So if you have a child that have not signed his pledge, definitely we need you all to go online and take care of that, right?
This is a good time. If you haven't already had the conversation with your children around bullying, this is the perfect segue, perfect opportunity.
Absolutely.
Talk to them about it. Ask them if they're willing to sign a pledge. And take them online. So together you can make sure the pledge
And
is signed.
every child that pledges, we do provide them with a free wristband that says
And
bullying
it
ends
says,
with me.
And it has my website on it. And also on the inside, you can barely see it,
But it says thanks for pledging.
Oh, wow. That's
So yes, that is something else that we do provide. But I wanted to take 1 minute just to say to the parents, if your child is being bullied, please, please, please take the time out to have a conversation with them. First about their self-esteem, and then second that you are in their corner, and then go to the school and deal with it. The biggest thing that we encounter when we talk to parents and kids that have been bullied is that the conversation's just not happening at home.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just not happening. Even James, when he was bullied, it went on for a little while before he told me, but I noticed a change in him. So even if your child doesn't say anything, if they stop participating in things they normally like to do, or you notice they're withdrawn now, or they don't want to go to school. 160,000 kids skip school every day because of bullying. So just please make sure you're paying attention to those little key things that can help change the outcome of your child. The effects of bullying are lifelong, so you want to make sure you can stop them as soon as possible.
Right. And James, currently is a product of Prince George's County Public Schools, and
That's
I know
right.
that they have, a protocol, for parents when it happened. I guess back in the day, if something happened, our parents was up at the school.
At the school.
But now they have a protocol that a parent have to, go on to the Prince George's County Public School website, and fill out a form.
It's just a form, and then you send it in, and you have to wait for an investigation. But all along, your child is going through this.
Suffering.
So I was at the school. I was calling. I was talking to the teachers. In his situation, they would not allow me to speak with the parent. For whatever reason, they thought that was going to be an issue. But I really wish I would have been able to. However, that child did end up getting expelled because he was bullying quite a few kids.
So hopefully, if we have any of our legislative, listening, to this, as well as any of our county officials, I'm saying this is something that we really need to work on.
Absolutely.
And what James, also mentioned that, like, the person who's being bullied is being hurt, but the person who's actually the bully also, possibly is hurting too. So we need to be able to, put some things. They need counseling in our schools.
Counseling.
Yeah, so we need, definitely funding for that, and definitely, way for parents to be able to handle the situation correctly, because nobody want anybody bullying their child.
At all. So what we're trying to do for the month of July, every Saturday, is have some sessions. We will let you know which library, kind of just like a support group that we can come together as parents and just talk about it, let the kids talk about what they're going through, and then we'll also provide resources for the parents. Even if you see us at an event, we'll be at the Juneteenth celebration this weekend.
Okay.
When your child signs the pledge, I also provide worksheets and things for you to have a dinner time conversation with the kids. And the other event that he has coming up you can come out to is his fundraiser reception, which is on June 22nd, where we know we're going to get that big check with $10,000 so we can get these kids to Sky Zone and let them have a great time. We want to rent the entire Sky Zone out, so it'll be free for all the kids. We're going to give them bully-proof bags. We're going to have a young boy out of Richmond who has a No Bully Zone song that is rotating on the radio right now. Yeah, Young King Ja. He's only 11, I believe. We're also going to have some of the local sports
And this
camps out there.
And this is June
29th. I'm sorry, that's June 29th for the annual anti-bully rally. I'm sorry, I mixed them up. The 6/22, which is June 22nd. Yeah.
September 29th.
September 29th is the rally. June 22nd is the reception.
And where's that going to be at?
The reception is going to be at Exit Realty in Clinton.
Exit Realty.
Yes, and from
Exit
5
Realty
to
in Clinton.
7.
Okay.
All of this information is on his website.
Okay.
All of it. But
We'll
the
put a link on
anti-bully
our website
rally,
to the website.
is the
Okay.
reason why
Excellent.
we're doing the fundraiser, because we really want to do that. James also is trying to develop an app. He has 3 more comic books that he wants to put out.
And then I'm going to make another series then for my aftercare, or maybe my club that no one's in yet. But here I'm going to flip to the page.
Yes, he
Become
wants
a
kids to
maniac.
become a maniac, which means you are bully free and you also support his comic book.
Okay.
But he was writing this comic book when the kids wouldn't play with him.
Oh, wow.
And he brought it home in the notebook, and I went through. I'm like, what is this? And I said, well, maybe we can do that to help. His behavior had changed
And I'm sure
after
it's
being
been therapeutic
bullied.
for him as well.
And then for
Absolutely.
my second series, I'm going to add a character. So I'm going to add a character, and then I'm going to have someone. I'm going to have a raffle to see who's the best at drawing of all of them.
Okay.
And then
Look, these are
I've
new
been
plans.
so
You keep going.
Awesome. Yes.
And then
And-
it's going to be four series, 4 books in each of them.
Okay, doke. So we got some work to do.
And give the name of your comic book again.
Sunk Mania Galaxy.
Absolutely.
And that's available on your website? Through your
website,
Facebook,
Amazon,
Amazon,
and Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble.
Oh, wow.
That's right. Yep.
Awesome.
We are self-published. The illustrator actually found our bid. He's in Egypt, and he really loved what James was doing. And so instead of charging us the full price of what it would cost, he did it for less than half and gave James all the rights.
All the rights.
So it's a
Well,
beautiful
this is
thing.
terrific.
Beautiful thing.
And James, you did all of that?
I did all the writing.
Yes.
And the basic of the drawing.
He also
Stick figures
designs a
and
t-shirt.
documents.
Wow.
And this is the first one in the series.
Well, he's doing a lot, Mr. James
Yeah.
Collier.
Yes.
Wow.
And I just want to repeat that bullying will end
With me.
with you.
That's right.
With you.
And every other kid who signs the enjoy.
And every other kid who
Yes.
signs the pledge. So
right.
thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
And
You are welcome.
we look forward to
Thank
the
you for
work
having me on the
ahead.
show.
And
And
please go to his website.
Go to his
folks.
website.
Take the pledge.
Donate.
Encourage all the young people you know to take the pledge, and then just explore all the amazing work that he's doing
Right.
at only the age of 9. So let's support this young man. He certainly deserves the support.
I said, match Tasha. Match your
Match
girl Tasha.
Tasha. Match. And also make sure.
we need 20.
Yeah. Yes. With
20 people.
No, but 20 people. Yes. And if you want to match it with the 100 to do it before her,
that would
then
be
that's
cool,
cool.
too.
You know, James is taking that. You taking it all, right?
I'm taking it all.
Yeah. But
Well, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you
And
so much.
let's go to our final commercial, and then we'll be back on just to sign off. Thank you, folks, for joining us.
What? Come here. Hurry up. Hello. We just like to thank you all for tuning in today. We'll be back here every Thursday at 5:30 to 6:30. If you're an entrepreneur, if you know of a business that you believe that need to have the spotlight shined on them, if you have a cause that you need some help, reaching the people, definitely, we would like to be to have you on our show. If there's an exceptional leader out there that you want people to be able to hear about, definitely we want to hear about them too. And if it's something educational, something that can help our community, the Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area go to another level, definitely we want to hear from you all. So come back, I guess, next week. Share our page. Let's help James reach his goal of getting those 20,000 signatures before he go back to school. He have that kickoff event on September the 29th, his second anti-bullying event. But we need to have all those signatures, and we need the $10,000 to be raised so that he can help reach the people that need to be reached throughout our communities. So once again, thank you, and we see you next week.